All right, Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. This message is for Awilda. To the larger audience, anyone else who might happen to click on this, Awilda is a customer of a tech support business called Prefix Software Solutions. Prefix Software Solutions is also Prefix Software Solutions LLC, registered in the state of Arizona, with two other, my name of course is on that license, along with two foreign partners, two Indian partners, Lakshmikant and Rakesh. We are doing business legitimately, as we demonstrated when we served Awilda. We have an email exchange, we have a chat session, we also have a voice recording of her saying she was satisfied with the service. So Awilda has since claimed to her bank that the charge is fraudulent. And of course she's not responding to us, to any of us, our tech people in India, our operations management tech people in India, or me. So yesterday I recorded a video message to her and sent her the link, and I was pissed, and I listened to it, and this video is for the purpose of speaking a little less emotionally, I'm still emotional about this, but a little less anger, I'm going to try to speak more precisely. So let me be clear. Yesterday's message was, there are no factual errors in yesterday's message that I detected. I want to be more precise with my words. However, yesterday was factually correct. I'd also like to be a little bit shorter. So Awilda, first of all, I don't think that's your name. And I got hung up on that yesterday, whether it's your name or I'm concluding it's not your name. Awilda is nobody in my neighborhood knows anyone named Awilda. I don't know anyone named Awilda. It would certainly be a name of the Americas, of the Caribbean specifically, traces to a fictitious, maybe a legendary, a female pirate, Awilda. So here's a message. I'm going to get past this, whether your name is not. I'm going to declare your name is something else, and Awilda is a fraudulent identity. Now, I'm not going to say your name in this video, your family name, your last name. But I do believe Awilda is a fraudulent identity with the bank. And I base that on this. If your parents named you Awilda and put it on your birth certificate, and deliberately, mom and dad could have accidentally named you after a pirate and not known it. But this pirate, as I understand, is quite famous. So it's highly unlikely that Awilda was chosen. So if your parents named you Awilda after a famous pirate and put it on your birth certificate, then you would have been in prison by now. You wouldn't be an adult receiving our service and then complaining about it. You would have been down the wrong road much earlier. That's my theory. Awilda is not on your birth certificate. It is a fraudulent identity. So that's, again, circumstantial evidence. However, I am making that conclusion to go forward for the rest of this message. The second thing is, you have claimed that our services are fraudulent. And so basically our wiring of money, you wiring money to us through an invoice and probably a debit card. I didn't see exactly how you paid for it, but PayPal invoices give many options. So let's assume you used a debit or credit card. So when you made that payment and then lied about it, that is called wire fraud. So here's the part that I want to get more precise with my words. I claim you're a criminal. And that sounds a little harsh, but let me be more clear. Oh God, these people have dogs. Great. They're little, loud dogs. So So you're not there are three parties of someone being declared a criminal. One is a victim who knows the person's a criminal. One is a larger social audience, and then one is the court of justice. So there's really three different audiences, whether or not you're a criminal. Again, I have evidence that shows you've committed a crime. So if I can call you a criminal, it is fraudulent. My claim is not widely accepted that you are a criminal. However, I have evidence that you've committed a crime, and for me to call you a criminal, I can defend what I'm saying, and anyone who would challenge that, I can provide records to. Anyone in a larger audience hasn't seen that evidence, and they're not going to declare that you're a criminal. And certainly the justice system of the United States is guilty, innocent till proven guilty. So you're not a criminal in their eyes relative to this alleged crime. So when I called you a criminal, I rethought that, whether I should or not. So on this video, I will call you a criminal. I'm not speaking for a larger audience. I'm not speaking for the justice system of the United States government. I am speaking for me. Awilda, you're a criminal. So that's a correction from yesterday's message. So what crime have you committed? I suspect and have circumstantial evidence that you have a fraudulent identity with the bank. That is called bank fraud. You've told them you are someone and you are not that someone. That is bank fraud, and that is a legal term. You can be charged with bank fraud. Then when you involved yourself in a bank wire, moving money as you did when you paid our invoice, and then you claim you did not receive said services and our services were fraudulent, that becomes wire fraud. That is a crime under that name, and you can be charged with wire fraud. So bank fraud, fraudulent identity, I have circumstantial evidence that you have committed that crime. Wire fraud, I have conclusive evidence that you have committed that crime. Now, people get charged and people go to jail for bank fraud and wire fraud. Awilda, if you don't believe me on this, type in Michael Cohen and look at the trouble he's gotten himself in. There's also an author of a recent book, Frank Sinatra, The Way We Were. His name is Elliot Weissman, and he went to prison for doing nothing more than inflating his income. He was The Way We Were, it was about Frank Sinatra. He was a manager of Frank Sinatra, and they wanted to prosecute him with a great appetite, and his crimes were basically non-existent. But they did find a bank application where he had exaggerated his income on a bank application for a mortgage. The house he lived in, okay? He was not moving criminal properties, and he wasn't a slumlord. He was living with his wife and his children in a home, and he had a couple extra $1,000 on his income that did not exist. And he went to jail for that. All right, that's bank fraud. That his name, again, Elliot Weissman. He's the author of, he was a manager for Frank Sinatra. He has recently written a book, and the book is called Frank Sinatra, The Way It Was. And then the other one is Michael Cohen, Cohen. Michael Cohen is in the news, and he is likely to be charged, and this will make headlines. He is likely to be charged with bank fraud and wire fraud. And a third name I'll put out there, Paul Manafort, and it's Manaford. Paul Manafort has been charged with bank fraud and wire fraud, bank wire fraud. And these are huge stories, and these people will go to jail. They can go to, Elliot Weissman went to jail for inflating his income a couple $1,000s on a bank loan mortgage application. That was his crime. He went to prison for it. Now, there were extenuating circumstances. They really wanted Frank Sinatra, and who they wanted more was the crime boss that Frank Sinatra was allegedly associated with. And so there were special circumstances in that really exaggerated. I'm not claiming that's going to happen to you, Awilda, but I am claiming what you've done is and can be prosecuted. Can be prosecuted and is prosecuted in other circumstances. I'm not saying your case is likely. I am saying I have the evidence you've committed the crime. And then the other phrase I used yesterday was white collar criminal. Now, white collar criminal is not a legal term. Nobody gets charged with white collar crime. That's what we call it in conversation and in the media. Okay, so I used it yesterday, whether it applies or not. Again, I can call you a criminal if I want because I have evidence that you committed a crime. I'm not trying to convince the world that you are a criminal or white collar criminal. So I can use that term loosely. I am speaking for myself. So in that case, yesterday, I called you a white collar criminal, and I don't rescind that. That is still out there. I have evidence you committed a crime, and that crime is wire fraud, and circumstantial evidence points to bank fraud, and both of those are white collar crimes. So in my mind, again, I am representing the company. I am a partner in this company that was a victim of your crime, or an attempted victim of your crime, and so that makes you a white collar criminal in my mind. And I have evidence to substantiate that. Awilda, that's the end of my message today. And quite honestly, I thought yesterday was going to be final, but I just wanted to be more precise. So this is final. I won't do another one of these. I can't imagine I have content or purpose or motivation to do another one. So this is the second and final. Today or tomorrow, I will reply to the dispute. I will be presenting the records I have to the bank to tell them my side of this dispute. So again, Awilda, I have evidence you committed a crime. You don't know me. You have no reason to trust me. And we're not friends. So I'm not motivated to protect you and save you from crime. In fact, the circumstances, I got to present my case to get the money that I earned. And I didn't earn the money. The company earned the money. But I got to get the money the company earned by serving you. So I am not only not your friend, I should not be trusted by you. And furthermore, I am motivated to get the money my company earned. Therefore, if you expect a friend to protect you from the police, you shouldn't expect that from me. And you should expect just the opposite, because I am motivated to get the money I earned, the company that I represent earned, by telling the federal banking system that you're a criminal. Don't trust me. You have no reason to trust me. And today I'm going to be reporting to the bank system that you have done all the things that I said. That you're a white-collar criminal. You've committed a crime of bank fraud. You have committed, and I have evidence you committed a wire fraud. And I have circumstantial evidence that you have fraudulently identified yourself to the bank as Awilda, and I want this to get resolved in my favor. I'm going to do everything I can within reason to do that. There's another topic called a civil case. Civil cases where I would sue you outside of the criminal court. Now, if I were to lose my dispute, that's on the table. I could do that. I'd have to pay a lawyer where you live to be able to do that. It's a ridiculous thing for the amount of money that's at hand, but that could happen. If you happen to scam me out of more money, and I thought it was worth it, and I thought I could win, even if the bank decided in your favor, if I had evidence that's, oh God, I forgot to put in something, the bank sides for Awilda and against prefix. And in that case, I thought I had a case, and we're talking about $5,000. Then I could file a civil case in the court where you live. But I think we're somewhere between $200 and $500. So it obviously doesn't pay for me to do that. But if I were bitter and I hated you, which I don't, I could do that with a low sum of money. And certainly if it were high and I thought I could collect, and that judgment against you would be worthwhile, then a civil case would be warranted. In this case, it's not. I am not threatening that. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Today is Sunday. The NFL's not playing today, but if they were, people would be wearing NFL jerseys. I'm wearing one today because this is 90. My mother is 90. Ciao.